From the intense battle between their rival teams in 2021 to Jimmy pushing hard on Nikola and his defense in the NBA Finals, here's the truth about Butler and Jokic's beef. The Denver Nuggets and the Miami Heat brought fans a thrilling NBA Finals showdown, and it was no ordinary clash. The Nuggets were on a mission to bring home their very first championship title, and on the other side you had the feisty Heat, hoping to make history as the lowest-seeded team ever to snatch the championship crown in a battle of the ages between the underdogs. Now I know what you're thinking. These teams had one of the longest-standing rivalries in NBA history, but the recent beef between these squads added a whole lot of spice to the mix. Let's rewind to 2021, when the two collided in a game that turned into an all-out battle. Things got really heated in the fourth quarter. I'm talking intense altercations, fines being dished out left and right, suspensions shaking up the lineup, and enough bad blood to fill a swimming pool. It was like fireworks on the court, and the intensity carried over even after the final buzzer. Fast forward to the NBA Finals, and you can bet your best basketball-loving socks that both teams have that incident fresh in their minds. It was a chance to settle the score once and for all, and the Nuggets proved they belong on the biggest stage by bringing home that long-awaited title, getting their revenge for what happened. But how exactly did their beef start? The Nuggets were holding a sweet 17-point lead late in the fourth quarter. Everything was looking good for the Denver Heroes, but things were about to take a crazy turn. You all know Nikola Jokic is this easygoing and hilarious guy, who's always cracking jokes and making everyone laugh. But on that fateful day in November of 2021, he flipped a switch, and everyone saw a whole new side to Jokic. So there he was, pushing the ball up the court, ready to extend that lead even further. And then out of nowhere, Markieff Morris from the Miami Heat decides to play the spoiler and commits a hard-take foul to stop the play dead in its tracks. Not cool, Morris, not cool. Nikola, being the passionate guy that he is, wasn't having any of it. He saw Markieff's move as a challenge, and man did he retaliate. He gave Morris a taste of his own medicine with a powerful shove to the back, and wham! Markieff hit the ground hard. You could feel the shockwaves throughout the arena. As Morris tried to pick himself up, he couldn't quite find his footing, and it turned out that Jokic's shove caused some serious whiplash, and he needed medical attention. Talk about an unexpected twist in the game. Little did anyone know at the time, that simple shove would have serious consequences, and Morris ended up missing 58 games due to the whiplash. Clearly, that was one powerful shove. The aftermath of that jaw-dropping shove was also intense, and as soon as it happened, chaos erupted on the court. Players from both teams rushed in, tempers flared, and it was like a wild WWE match without all the spandex. The coaching staff had to step in and separate the pissed-off ballers before things got out of hand because it was about to be a full-on basketball brawl. The Miami Heat aren't the type to back down easily, especially Jimmy, their leader. He got all fired up. On the other side, Markieff was feeling the impact of that shove, and he admitted that for the first couple of weeks he had trouble sleeping. Can't say that I blame him, because getting your bell rung like that is bound to have consequences. But Morris eventually found his inner strength to move on, thanks to some much-needed advice from his grandpa. And let's not forget about Jokic himself. After the game, he faced the music and owned up to his actions, saying he regretted doing that and even called it a stupid move. No argument there. Obviously, there were consequences for Nikola's nasty temper, and he received a one-game suspension because the NBA has zero tolerance for antics like that. Morris didn't get off easy either, and was slapped with a hefty $50,000 fine for his flagrant foul penalty, which sparked the whole chaotic scene. And Butler? Well, he got hit with a $30,000 fine for escalating the situation and creating a headache for the NBA's security team during their investigation. These players let their emotions get the better of them, but hopefully you'll see cooler heads in future matchups. When Jimmy was asked about any bad blood between the teams, he played it cool, saying that he didn't think there was anything to worry about, but then he dropped a cryptic line about there being stuff that people don't understand, and that he was keeping it locked away in the past. Not sure what he means by that, but it sounds ominous as hell. Remember that video showing Butler going at it with Jokic after the on-court altercation? Well, he cleared that up too. Jimmy said, contrary to popular belief, he wasn't gunning for the Serbian superstar. Turns out he had beef with someone else entirely, and according to him, that person knew exactly what he was talking about. So now, everyone's trying to decipher the hidden meaning behind Butler's words. I mean, the guy's like a walking, talking zodiac cipher. He's a tough nut to crack. So what could have happened? Clearly, he had something against another one of Jokic's teammates. But as of now, that's a closely guarded secret. And according to Butler, at the end of the day, it's all about high-level competition. These guys were so focused on the finals that they left the drama in their rearview mirror. In another shocking turn of events, Jimmy came out to praise Jokic's defensive skills. Man, nobody saw that one coming. We all know Nikola was hailed for his incredible offensive performances throughout the playoffs. But hold on to your hats, because Butler wants to give him his due respect on the defensive end too. Jimmy called him a hellified defender, and he made sure that reporters knew it. That's some high praise right there. He specifically mentioned Jokic's ability to disrupt opponents' decisions, his impressive footwork, and Nikola's rebounding and outlet passing skills. The man can do it all. In Game 1, he showcased his entire arsenal on both ends of the court, recording a triple-double with 27 points and leading the Nuggets to a victory over Butler's Heat. It was a dominant performance, and thanks to Jimmy, fans and critics were thrilled to hear a different side of the narrative. For years, Nikola's critics claimed that Denver couldn't build a defense around him to make deep playoff runs. But with the Nuggets up 1-0 in the finals, Jimmy's compliments on Jokic's defense, particularly in the pick and roll, turned heads and challenged those assumptions. Nikola and the Nuggets played aggressively against Jimmy and the Heat in the NBA Finals, and there was some serious underdog action going on. The two stars are from opposite ends of the globe, and they put it all on the line for their first championship rings, so the stakes couldn't have been any higher. Jokic, the two-time MVP, was like a force of nature on the court, and a triple-double machine throughout the playoffs, averaging insane numbers. I'm talking 30.8 points, 13.5 rebounds, and 8 assists per game. Talk about a stat sheet stuffer. And don't forget his lethal partnership with Jamal Murray, creating a dynamic 1-2 punch that keeps their opponents up at night. But here's the thing, Jokic wanted to match the Miami Heat's aggression in Game 5, going as far as calling it a must-win, even though the Nuggets were already in the lead. He said he knew they couldn't afford to let their guard down and it was all or nothing. Butler wasn't performing any less either. He was a beast on the court, bringing his sledgehammer physicality and late-game heroics to every matchup. He was testing Denver's defense, especially players like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Aaron Gordon. But in the end, only one team came out on top, and it was the Nuggets. They defeated the Heat in a hard-fought battle, sealing the deal with a 94-89 score in Game 5. Nikola led the team with 28 points and 16 rebounds, and it's no wonder he was named the NBA Finals Most Valuable Player. Both Jokic and Butler brought the Heat to the finals, showcasing their skills and determination every step of the way. It was an NBA rivalry for the ages, and fans were lucky to see it. The Nuggets claimed their well-deserved championship, and Jokic cemented his status as one of the game's greats. One thing's for sure though, Jokic and Butler will continue making waves with their incredible performances. So from Jimmy pushing hard on Nikola and his defense in the NBA Finals, to the intense battle between their rival teams in 2021, that was the truth about Butler and Jokic's beef.